Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing working? Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Oh my goodness. I think they've all gone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, Christopher says, hey Tom, they'll watch this live broadcast and join the chat here. Hyperlink in your email is broken. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know I had that in my email. Well, we're going to have to work on that. Hi, guys. It's good to be back. You've caught me in pre-show today. Wait on a second. There we go. That's pre-show. And we've got 3 minutes left. Oh, my goodness. We are not going to start on time. I hate to say that. But I had such a cool thing happen to me on Sunday, and I just realized that I never took the photos that I took with Rich and put them where I can put them on here. And, you know, I guess I can hold them up like this, but that's not as good. So sit tight with me. I'm going to go over to the work surface here and download them really quickly. So, you know, Giles, would you go ahead and just sing a little song to entertain the rest of the crowd while I do that? And I'm going to flip up the curtain here and see if I can find my handy-dandy transfer cable. You ever get so well organized that you can't find anything? Ah, here it is. Right where it belongs. Nope. Is that the right one? Nope, that's the old one. Why do you save an old cable that you don't use anymore? There we go. That one will work. Because one day you might need it. That's why. Because you never know. If you've been in Giles's barn, you know what I'm talking about. All right, allow access to your data. Yes, allow. Okay, so I want to go to the phone. If you're just joining us, I'm late. If you haven't already figured that out. DCIM folder, camera, pictures. Here we go. Pictures, pictures, pictures. And they are not in any particular order, so let's put them in order by date. Where's the date? Created. There we go. Put them in that order. And there we go. Now let's turn them back into icons so we can see what in the world they look like. There we are. Okay. So we want to grab all the, man, I took a lot of pictures. Holy cow. So we'll go there. And there. And we're going to put them in the Dropbox. Photo file. Rich Ignacio. There we go. Bing, 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 bing. Copy and replace. There we go. All right. All right, cool. Now, as that list populates, let's add an input. We'll go to list. We'll go to add. We'll navigate to the Dropbox. And as the Dropbox updates, it'll bring the pictures in. Photos. Rich. Okay, and they're still coming in, so we'll let that come in all the way before we bingo tell it. Okay, so we can close that out. Close that out. Close that out. And close that out. If you have requested a vMix mouse pad in the last 24 hours, I'm not sitting on it on purpose, but I will get to it before I go out of town. All right, so let's see. Did we get our full list? Yeah, we got our full list. Okay, that's really probably more than what we need, but that's okay. And let's see. Let's go to bum bum bum. So is Giles singing yet? I'm not hearing. Giles, I'm really going to be disappointed. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. No, I'm not living in Martin's container this week. I was able to get a real inside room with plumbing and stuff. All right. He was singing the theme to Airplane. What is the theme to Airplane? Ken, no, it's not a new background. This is my old pre-show background. And I just haven't done a pre-show with this in a while, and so I just popped it over there. Now, if you're watching us and you're wondering what in the world is going on, sorry about that. We're starting late, number one. Number two, we're still kind of in pre-show. Number three, this is Streaming Idiots. I'm Tom Sinclair, and I'm delighted that you're here along with us. Oh, Jan says, we voted unanimously for Giles not to sing. Well, I tell you what, Giles and I will get out there and sing you guys a duet one day on vMix Call. That will definitely increase the ratings. Hey, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Periscope, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, because that's where the chat is, and that's what, I'm talking to folks in chat. Pedro's here from Puerto Rico. Welcome. He just joined the Streaming Idiots group this week, I think. So we're glad to have you here. And he posted on the Streaming Idiots group a link to one of his one of the baseball games that he had streamed. And so if you haven't seen that already, go to facebook.com/groups/Streaming Idiots, and you can take a look at Pedro's offering. Pedro, thanks for sharing. We're delighted to have you as part of the gang. Michael Wilson has a simple pre-show question. A simple pre-show question. Is there such a thing? Is it allowed in pre-show chat, or do I need to save it for the later group? Well, that's a question right there, Michael. You've used your one pre-show question. Oh, my goodness. Oh. All right, Christopher says it was an email from YouTube. Okay, thank you, Christopher. I will have to check and see what's going on YouTube. Thank you very much. If it's broken, it's because I typed it in wrong. I'm sure that's what it is. That's the other thing that we like to do here, is to have our YouTube account up so we can see just who's watching, or not who's watching necessarily, but how many folks are watching. And we want to go to the channel. Bear with me again, we're starting late. It's a slippery slope is what it is. That's what it is. It's a slippery slope. We'll go to Video Manager, and we'll go to live streaming, and there we go. Let's see. And we've got 52 folks on the live stream. That's great. Glad to have you. And 43 folks in the chat. So that means there are 9 people that aren't with us in chat yet. So come on over to the chat, easternshorebroadcasting.com. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm not looking at Facebook right now, but we won't be responding to the comments there. I'm sorry. It's just way too many things to juggle. Amnon says the YouTube link has been broken for ages. Well, thanks, Amnon. Now you tell me. It's ages. He's like, I really didn't want to say anything about it. I just wanted to leave it out there. Oh my goodness. And there's a possibility that next week's show will be broadcast from the studios of Nissan Communications. That's right, Amnon's studio in Raleigh, North Carolina. because I will be up that way visiting and working with a company doing some training on vMix. And so apparently the company I'm working for is like 6 miles from Amnon. So Amnon and I will get to hang out again together. That's going to be really cool. All right, looks like we got that working. Let's see. Ken says, if Giles and Tom do sing, I'll be sure the copyright alarms on YouTube will not go off. Oh, that's good. That's good. Michael, I'm sorry. I didn't make such fun of you. Hey, Zoran is here from Croatia. Welcome. He expects a nice party. Well, you've come to the wrong place. All right, Michael says, how bad will a 1080i camera input look in vMix? I can't do 1080p. It'll look good. It'll look good. vMix will de-interlace it automatically, especially if you click the little de-interlace box, and I think it'll look good. Definitely try it and find out, but definitely do it. And Giles is saying the same thing. There you go. Texas Mike, welcome. My woodworking club records our demos using camcorders outputting 1080i, and we record 720p. The results are fine. There you go. There you go. That's it right there. Excuse me. That was not a song. We're not going to get a copyright hit on that, are we? Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's add one more thing to the show notes. All right. Today we're going to start the show in just a second, but since you're here on time, we're going to talk about StreamCon, of course. We're going to talk about Amnon, and Amnon's going to confirm with me maybe today about the show next week. And then 2 weeks we're going to have Ty Young on the show. We need to get Ty's stuff up here. Let's see if we can find it real quickly. There's no such thing as real quickly, though, when you're looking for stuff. It's funny how that goes. And I didn't put Ty's name on it, so I may not be able to find it. But we'll have it up for her show. Ty is a really interesting individual that our paths have crossed because of vMix. And she is a serial entrepreneur. She's in the Atlanta area. And or actually, she has an office in Atlanta and an office in Orlando. And we think that she's going to come up and join us at StreamCon and possibly present. But I'll have her on the show in 2 weeks from today, so you can take a look. And I'm really fortunate to have really quality folks on the show. And when they're not, it means you're stuck with me. Merle, if you can't get here on time, just show up whenever you can. Okay. Boy, you guys are just answering all the good questions. I'll just show up and open the chat room. How about that? Okay, we're gonna hit the show here. Just one sec. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube directly, Twitter, or Periscope, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com and join the chat. That's the advantage of coming to easternshorebroadcasting.com. Click the Watch Live tab and join the chat. Is Tom bringing the refreshments? No, I'm not bringing the refreshments. I may be late starting the show, but I'm here. I'm here. It's when you're present that counts, right? Okay, well, whatever. Let's go. Merle and I will bring the refreshments together. I've got lemonade. Merle's can corral a bunch of mixed nuts, I'm sure, and we can get going. So let's see if I've got my using my handy dandy X-Keys XKEYS 24. Actually, these are going to be. I'm going to bring a bunch of these to StreamCon. So if you're interested in one, you're coming. And I'm actually, well, I don't want to steal all my own thunder. Okay, let's see. Let's try. We're in pre-show right now. We're going to fade to black. And we get to do that all over again because I forgot to press the record button. Sorry about that. Let's try again. Here we go. I knew there was a reason why I have it's a fade to black button. It's fade to black 1 and then fade to black 2, but in between them I'm supposed to start the record. So, and I haven't had the, well, I could start the record and let that trigger the fade to black. Well, we'll just go on the way. And Giles is laughing at me. That's all right. Here we go. Okay, let's try. Let's try again. Hey, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots, and I am delighted that you're here with me today. If you're watching live, yeah, we got started. We got started early. We got started late. We got started late for a variety of reasons. Doesn't really matter, but I'm glad you're here with us today. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact or Facebook after the fact, thanks for popping in and joining the show. We'd love to have you subscribe to our YouTube page or to our Facebook group. It's the Facebook group down there, facebook.com/groups/streaming idiots, and you'll get all sorts of notices about when we're going live and when we posted videos and things like that. In fact, there's great discussion. For example, Michael Graves posted this morning, he's a vMix user and he's also a Wirecast user. And now that Wirecast has implemented some NDI functions in Wirecast, which should he use? And there was a, 20 or 30 comment discussion about that. So pop in and see. Hey, David, glad to have you in the show today. Jim Jacobs is here, too. Paul Richards is here. Great. Andres is here. Jan is here. Michael's here. Wow, look at all these folks that are here. Holy cow. Gee whiz. I'm glad you guys are here. And ladies, too, of course. So welcome. Welcome. Anyway, come join the Streaming Idiots group. It's a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot. You'll get to meet some really great people. And you'll be better for it. I am. But it didn't take a whole lot to make improvements on me. So what's up? The big news, I think, and I was going to make a graphic about it, and I forgot. You'll have to write it down with an old-fashioned pen. The big news is that is with StreamCon. StreamCon is the live streaming conference coming up in Atlanta. June 8th through 11th, so that's next month. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to be there. I'll be presenting, and several of you are going to be there presenting, and some other folks are coming in to present. But the conference runs 4 days. It starts on Thursday night and runs through Sunday morning. It's going to be jam-packed with a couple of different kinds of things. It's going to be a lot of hands-on stuff. A lot of stuff working with, for example, with NDI or with vMix Call or with live streaming kind of features. How do you get a camera from point A to point B? Somebody was posting just a second ago, was that Michael, about using some component to SDI kits. And I think he had talked about some balance. And those are the kinds of technical portions that we'll talk about. Is it high tech like a TV station would use? No, it's real life tech, i.e. MacGyver stuff sometimes, to get the job done. And that's we're gonna pull out our bag of tricks and bring it there to StreamCon and share those tricks with you. The other track that I'm really excited about is going to be some people are calling it the business track. I'm going to call it the monetized track because it's how to make your live streaming work for you in your checkbook. And I was sitting down the other day and I came out with 29 good solid concepts on that. And I was talking to Gerald Griffith, the conference coordinator, and he said, well, I got 30 before I had breakfast. And I was like, okay, you're not competitive or anything, are you? Tom is saying full disclosure. What did I say, Tommy? Oh, full disclosure. Yes, I'll get that in just a second. Thank you, Tommy. So there'll be two tracks that I know of. One's going to be the technical track. The other's going to be the business track. the nuts and bolts of technical and the nuts and bolts of business. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to learn a lot. And it's just, oh, Jim says, share the list, Tom. Well, that might be one of my presentations, so I better not share all my. Well, here's one that came up, and this is not on my list, and it came up in the Streaming Idiots Facebook page this morning, I think. Howard Jones was talking about, and I think Howard's going to be there. He was at the vMix meetup in Las Vegas. I think Howard was talking about finding clients to do live streaming services for. And one of the clients that he was talking about was, and don't take this wrong, but it was funeral homes. And the whole celebration of life thing, and people that can't travel across country or travel to a different continent to be part. They want to be part. It's a family thing, and they want to be there. And a live stream is the next best thing in that regard. And I think that's a great idea. It's a grand idea. It's a wonderful service to families. And you know, that's we can be about that. We can be about doing good stuff for good folks. You know, we want to get paid too, of course. So yeah, S. Whitney. That is S. Whitney. That is Scott Whitney. He was the host of the vMix meetup in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Welcome, Scott. He's in the live, not in the live stream. He's in the chat. You say, chat, Tom, I don't see the chat. Well, that means you're probably looking at Facebook or YouTube directly, maybe Twitter or Periscope. Come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com right now, click the Watch Live tab, and you'll have the chat too. And it's a lot more fun when you can see these guys that are peppering me with questions or poking fun, as the case may be, or reminding me. Yeah, full disclosure. Thank you, Tommy. Full disclosure. I'm an authorized vMix reseller. That's what I do for a living, is I resell vMix and I represent vMix. I was representing them at NAB 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas. Had a ball doing that. A lot of you have turned to me when you needed to buy vMix or when you needed to upgrade to a higher version of vMix, you know, maybe go from vMix HD to 4K or from 4K to Pro. And that's what I do. I also teach people vMix. And in fact, I'm leaving tomorrow to head up to North Carolina to work with a Fortune 500 company. They're flying their people in from all over the world to this event. Well, it's not an event. It's going to be a training session. But they want to be able to have vMix as the core operating, it's not an operating principle. What would you call it? The base that they use for their live streaming in their company. And we're starting out with one decision. Tommy says, does full disclosure work? Says Tom, send me money. Oh, that's Tommy Willis in Reeltown, Alabama. You got to take him with a grain of salt. But anyway, this company wants me to come in and teach them how to use vMix. Long story short, there you go. They're learning vMix. I also represent Magewell. Tom from Louisiana called, what was it, Monday? Said, Tom, I got to have a Magewell dongle like first thing Wednesday morning. And this was, you know, Monday afternoon. And I said, okay, Tom, well, let's see if we can't overnight it to you right now. And no, we weren't able to get it done, but we overnighted it yesterday. He got it this morning, and so he got what he needed. The Magewell dongle, yeah, I don't have one with me right now, but it's a USB device. It can be SDI or HDMI on the other end, and they're in our store at easternshorebroadcasting.com, and it's good stuff. We also represent PTZ Optics. And this is a long commercial, and I apologize, but I got to get this stuff off my chest. In fact, we are putting together a bundle and I haven't finished putting it together yet, so I can't quote you a price. But if you're at StreamCon, we're going to have a special bundle that will include vMix, PTZ Optics, X Keys, and we might have a Magewell option on that. So by bundling all that stuff together, see, as a reseller, I'm not allowed to advertise a lower than list price for many of these items. It's part of my agreement with folks that I won't do that. But when I bundle them together, nobody knows what the list price is. And so, you know, we just kind of fudge a little bit here, fudge a little bit there. And so we'll be offering that at StreamCon. We also are offering today, and you can get it if you want to, we're going to do a group buy on, that's somebody's phone. Giles, is that your phone? You better check that phone. Anyway, we're going to do a group buy on vMix. Don't tell the folks at vMix. We're going to do a group buy. If you're interested in the group buy, send me a message on Facebook, send me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com. Go to the website and use the contact form to shoot me a note. Call me, send me a text message, whatever you want. Can I whisper the lower price? No, I can't, because it would be recorded and somebody would smash me in. But if you're interested in either upgrading your vMix or buying vMix for the first time or buying a second license for another computer, let me know and I'll put you in the pool. And once we know how many people are in the pool, then we can try to figure out what we can get for some kind of group buy discount. So that's coming up. We'll probably do that between now and like maybe next week. So if you're interested, kind of express your interest early. Okay, enough commercial. One last commercial. I just shipped out a PC to a high school in Texas that they're using vMix Pro on, and it's just for instant replay. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be it's a beast of a PC. And I've got one on the workbench right now that's going to a church in Oklahoma, and they're going to run 5 or 6 cameras off of it. It's got a big 8-port capture card in it, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having a blast putting it together for them, and they're going to love it when they have it because it's going to sing. I love it when they sing like that. So that's the commercial. That's the full disclosure. We got that all out of the way. All right, here's the big news for StreamCon. Everybody ready? Do I have my drum roll? No, I don't have my drum roll. Sorry about that. It was a shortcut, and apparently the shortcut got lost. So imagine a drum roll. And here's the big news. Originally at StreamCon, the registration fee, the registration fee was $3.95 early bird, and we kind of worked on the developer. I mean, we pounded on him and we said, don't raise that up to $4.25 or whatever it was going to be. Keep it at $3.95, until the late registration time hits. And that was good. And then vMix got involved. Martin Sinclair got involved. And Martin said, guys, I want to make I want everybody to be able to come to this conference if they want to come. And so I'm going to write a check, and I want you to reduce the price from $3.95 to $2.95. So as of today, you can get a registration fee reduced to $2.95. Now, you have to use a code, and that's where you need your pencil, because the code is Eastern Shore. Eastern Shore, kind of like Eastern Shore Broadcasting.com without the broadcasting.com. It's just Eastern Shore. So if you want to go to StreamCon and you want to go for $2.95, when you register, you need to put in the Eastern Shore as a keyword. Eastern Shore is your discount code. Eastern Shore. Eastern Shore. Is it 2 words or 1 word? I don't know. If it doesn't take it one way, try it the other way. But Eastern Shore, and that will get you a $100 discount to StreamCon. And then at StreamCon, vMix is going to be giving away a $1,200 Pro license. They're going to be giving away 4 upgrades if you have vMix already. One of the prizes that you might win would be an upgrade on your vMix. X-Keys has got some special offers coming up. I just told you about the vMix PTZ X-Keys Magewell bundle that we're doing. And I think there's some other kind of show specials. Now, StreamCon is not a buy show. It's not a show where you come to buy stuff. It's a conference where you come to learn stuff. But if you're interested in these other things, there will be some other things available that you can write a check for. Amnon wants to know if he can get the $100 and just not go. Yeah, Amnon, no problem. I'll send you a check. Yeah. I'll send you a check. In fact, I'll bring you a check next week. How about that? All right. So $100 off StreamCon registration with Eastern Shore. Oh, I know the other thing, and this is will you take PayPal? Sure, we'll take PayPal. We'll take PayPal. You remember a while back, Byron Lindsay came on the show, and he had this wonderful library of frames, camera frames, that you can use for let's see if I've got one. It won't make sense in what I have right now, but let's see if I've got anything that looks like, yeah, can you see that? Yeah, you probably can see that. Let's just cut to that for a second. That's a camera frame with two speakers on the left, one on the right. Here's another one that would be two up. Here's an example. This doesn't have any pictures in it, but that's what two big ones would look like. And Byron has made, there are about 202 frames in the library. It's $29.95 in our store, but that's not why I was telling you about it. I was telling you about it because he did a, Byron, where is it? I'm going to have to find it. He did a special frame for, was it for Jim Jacobs? Where is it? Right here. I'm looking it up because I was supposed to download it, and I didn't. Nope, I've gone by it. Let's try again. Bear with me. Bear with me. I know it's dead air. Sorry about that. Well, somehow it's disappeared. It was for Jim Jacobs, that's right. And Byron put a copy of it in. Did he send it to me by text message or was it Facebook? Well, darn. But he took what Jim had. Jim had a four camera one, and he basically improved it. I mean, he added just some borders in there, and the borders were beautiful, and it made the difference. Scott's here. The party can start. And Byron says it's on text. Okay. Ah, gee whiz. Don't have access to it. Well, I'll put it in Streaming Idiots. So if you're watching the show live, come look in Streaming Idiots later on today, and it will be there. Anyway, Byron's going to do some custom frames for you. If you're interested in a custom frame that fits a particular part of your show, that you want to do that, he will do them by no, don't, Byron. If you're going to do them right now, don't do them by email because I don't have email on this PC. But if you'll PM me in Facebook, I'll get it up right now. So if you've got some special needs, maybe particular border thickness, particular border color, one of the things he's done with the borders that I think is really cool is he's made them translucent. They're not completely opaque, and so a little bit of what's going on in the picture will show through. And what that does is it gives the appearance that the borders just have a slight bevel to them, and it really looks good. And this is, a la Fox News or CNN. They look really, really good, and it's the kind of thing that if you want to take your show to the next level, having a frame like this. Now, yes, you can do them in Photoshop, absolutely. It's not rocket science, but to have a library of 200 of them already done for you and get a custom frame to boot where you can specify, the boxes, the width of the border, the color of the border, those kinds of things. Jan says it. Jan says in chat, we all have special needs. So there you go. So that's coming up, and that we'll get that into our website on the frame page here before too long. And I'm keeping an eye here on my Facebook private message to see if Byron's going to get that in there. While we wait on that, I will tell you, you get the Photoshop file. That's right. And Michael says a good frame is important. Thank you, Michael. I agree. vMix has upgraded version 19 or updated version 19. It's now at .47. So if you're not at 4.7, you want to get to 4.7. Shout out to Jan and Giles and Merle and Tommy and Rudy, and y'all tell me who I'm leaving out, Martin, for all the hard work they did working with vMix and vMix Call to iron out a couple of bugs that were found in vMix Call under some certain circumstances. And those guys, for example, if you were on a call for a long time, like a couple of hours, and then they tried to close out the call wouldn't close out, and it would freeze up. And Dave, thank you, Tommy. Yes, Dave. Yes. Now, see, Tommy did it all in caps, and he did it 3 times. That's what caught my attention. There you go. That's how the wife used to get my attention. And Jens, that's right. And Jens. Good. So, God, that just took my whole train of thought. Yeah, now Giles is going, Dave, Jens. Oh, that's too funny. And Jim is saying in chat, well, may as well just read you the chat if you're not watching it, that they'll be using the Sportscast Scorebot in his trailer during StreamCon. You remember Mike, Mike Cannell with Streamcast was on the show 2 weeks ago, right before vMix, and talked about it. So there we go. Anyway, we were talking about bug fixes. Thank you, Giles. So 4.7 is now the latest, greatest. Upgrade to it. It's good and solid. We're using it right now. And you'll notice if you're using your vMix that they'll be in the bottom left-hand corner, right down over there, there'll be a little green notice that says upgrade available. So keep an eye on that. And Alan Z was in on it too. There you go. Thank you, Alan. Sorry about that. So you want to upgrade as soon as possible. And if your vMix is older than a year and you don't think you have a free upgrade available, try it anyway. Maybe it'll work. A lot of folks have reported that works. And Zach was in on the call. That's right. And Alan. Okay, we got it. Thank you, Dave. We're good. We're good. Michael's asking a question. We'll pop in on this question right now. It says, noticed on the vMix requirement page that it says a GeForce NVIDIA graphics card is needed for higher-end HD stuff. Do you know if higher-end AMD cards work as well? The answer is, ta-da, not as good. vMix is precision-tuned to work with the NVIDIA chipset. Precision-tuned NVIDIA chipset. Now, other people will say, hey, it works for me, and that's great. But if you want to know that you know because you're fixing to go out and buy something, get NVIDIA chipset, 960 or higher. If you're going to do, HD, a lot of HD cameras, you will not regret getting the 960 or the 1060. The builds that we are doing with ours right now are either 1060s or 1080s. And we just think that's the right thing to do because vMix really depends on that graphics card for a lot of its processing. And the more that graphics card is able to take, the more your PC is going to sing. And that's why I love my Asus. It's got a 965, I think, in it, and it's doing all the recording and streaming for today's show. Yep. All right, so let's see. We're still looking to see if Byron has gotten us any. He doesn't have anything for us yet. All right. Last week, I had the opportunity last Sunday it was, to visit Rich Ignacio. You remember Rich was on the show, was it back in December maybe? And he's the one that got 50 million hits on a YouTube video that he posted. And he returned. Martin, the weather's great here. Thank you for asking. And he routinely gets hundreds of thousands of views on his broadcasts every weekend. You say, now what is he broadcasting? Something from Victoria's Secret to all these guys out here? No, it's not Victoria's Secret. Well, I guess it sort of is, but it's not. He is live streaming jet ski racing all over the U.S. In fact, I think he goes outside the country as well. And he just happened to be in Pensacola, Florida last weekend doing some jet ski racing. He's going to be in Panama City, Florida this coming weekend. So if you're anywhere near Panama City, you want to check it out. And in fact, if you go to Pro Watercross, just Google it. And that's the outfit that Rich is working for doing the streaming. And Byron's frames are coming in. Okay, so we'll see. Can we just drag and drop from Facebook into vMix? No, can't do that. Oh, well, it was nice. So we're going to save, copy. No, I don't think we're going to do any of that. We're going to go right here. Now we're going to, can we drag that in? Nope. Bear with me just a second. Save image as. Ooh, save image as. And we'll go to Dropbox. We'll go to graphics. We'll go to frames. And we will go right there. Great. Good. That's number one. Anyway, let's go to, yeah, there it is, prowatercross.com. Thank you very much. And let's try to get the rest of these frames in before Byron shoots me. Let's go there. And save as. And then we'll go one more. Bear with me, folks. Sorry, this is so unprofessional. So it's pretty normal. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see if we can bring those frames in. We'll get to Rich in just a second. But let's see. Photos, browse, Dropbox, graphics. Where's graphics? There it is. Camera borders. There we go. Let's try again. You know, it's one of those things that things always work beautifully in practice, but they don't always work so beautifully in not practice. Where are we? There we are. So we're just going to find these in Windows Explorer and drag them right in. And yeah, okay. So this is the frame that we started with. And let's get the lower third out of the way there. And this is the frame that we ended with. You notice the difference? Now we have two of them with logos, so let me show you the one with logos and without the frame in it. And just look how the frame just makes it look that much, ooh, just more polished. A little before. In fact, let's go all the way before. And then we add a little logo. And then we add the framing. And pow, there you go. That's the cool part. That's the cool part right there. So, if you're interested in having that or something like that, let us know. It'll be part of a frame pack if you don't already have one. And thank you, Byron Lindsay, for putting that together. Byron is a genius. And let's go back to Rich. So Rich and I are hanging out, and let me adjust this slideshow setting. There we go. Anyway, we're not hanging out. I'm going out there to Pensacola Beach to see what he's got going on. And it is amazing. He is on top of this 2-story scaffold. I don't think I took a picture of the scaffold. Let's see. But here's Rich. And you can see the jet ski racing going on in the background. They love having the big waves there. And I started in the middle, so we'll kind of go through these slides. This is oh, this is cool. RJ would like this. This is one of those DeckLink mini converters, and it's converting HDMI into SDI, and it's got power coming from, let's see, do I have a picture of it pulled out of the box? Yeah, there we go. Power coming from a 12-volt car charger kind of thing that goes USB and then powers into the mini converter to power the mini converter. I mean, it's just Rich, not amazing in thinking up all that kind of stuff. There's another shot at it. Got some good old gaffer tape to hold everything together. And of course, vMix on the sleeve. And there's a shot of the two of us, a couple of shots there, just in case one of them didn't work. Yeah, there's the scaffolding. Right, and you can't even see the part up at the top where we were. But right now, Rich is setting up for the awards ceremony afterwards. And do we have any close-ups on the camera rig? Yeah, there we go. This is not an expensive camera, but it did the job. It's a Sony, handy cam with HDMI out, and the HDMI is going into a converter. Yep, a transmitter, not a converter, into a transmitter, and it's transmitting back up into the scaffold tower. And it has a range of about 200 or 300 feet. And it's powered by this cool little battery pack. That's what's powering the converter, just a USB battery pack. There's another view of the whole setup. And so no wires. No wires. It's all right there on the tripod. And basically, he just put the tripod there and let him do the award show. Now we're back up in the top of the scaffold. And this is the receiver for that wireless transmitter. And the receiver's going into another mini converter. And that's just a shot of his Pelican case full of Pelican cases that comes just under 50 pounds so that he can get it on a flight. A little closer look there. And then, you take a picture and later on you say, that wasn't a particularly good picture. Well, that wasn't a particularly good picture of what's on the screen, but you can see that he's using the Asus ROG laptop, very similar to the one that I'm using here in the studio. It's got the 965 graphics card. It's got a backlit keyboard. It's a beast. You can see plugged in on the right-hand side of it is a Thunderbolt cable. And then back behind it, you see that kind of silver box. That's the Bolt 4 that we built for him. We'll show you again a close-up of that in just a second. This case is basically the PA system for the whole setup there on the beach. You can see a couple of Shure wireless receivers back there in the top, and then a mixing board in front of that. Mixing board on the side is where Rich is able to kind of split out and pick up just the announcer's audio without picking up all the background, not the background, but the music that would be playing that would get him flagged on Facebook or YouTube very, very quickly. All of this, remember, is a portable setup. And that's another shot of the wireless receiver and the attachments to it. There's the Bolt 4. And so that requires power, and you can see it's got 4 SDI cables coming in the back of it and a little vent on the top to keep it cool. And this is his Verizon 4G LTE wireless hotspot. And you can see it's plugged into power, but you can also see under the gaffer's tape, if you look closely, there is a cord coming out. And that cord is going to an antenna that is, Rich says that beats every other kind of antenna he's ever tried. and he's able to really boost his wireless signal using that antenna. There's another shot of the desktop. vMix mouse pad, of course. And you got to have a bag with cables. And you got to have a backpack that's got a little bit of everything in it. This is his camera rig, and he had a couple of cameras set up. And you can see the pouch down at the bottom of the tripod, or at least the bottom of the photo. The pouch there that's got the mini converter in it. Yep, there we go. And can't see much of the camera because of the backlighting. Not a fancy cam, but keeping in mind that you can see that environment. It's wet, it's salty, it's sandy. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but no, I guess I don't. But when I was up there, even though we're 2 stories off the sand, everything up there was covered with a light dusting of sand. And so you're not going to take high-dollar equipment, or at least if you have a choice between high-dollar equipment and low-dollar equipment, you're not taking high-dollar equipment up there in order to do that job. So many thanks to Rich for showing that off. It was a lot of fun. You know, he said, you know, how should we clean all this stuff? And I think, you know, dunking it in fresh water is probably definitely going to get it clean. But it may decrease the life and most certainly will void the warranty. So we'll probably have to get Rich on again after the season, because he's on the road every weekend. We'll have to get him back in here and do a pegboard show, kind of like we did with RJ a while back. And the tower, Giles is asking about the tower. The tower is just standard construction scaffolding, you know, with a railing and then a wonderful topper on top of it to keep the sun off. Corey is asking, how much does this cost to get started, including vMix and cameras? Corey, I started with $100. That's what I started with. And bought cheap cameras off of eBay and cheap mics off of eBay and cheap. I think the only thing I bought that was not, well, that doesn't include software. Yeah, and then I had a PC lying around that I used, and then you know you just gradually upgrade your kit. It's like anything else. You're here, so you make an improvement here, and then make an improvement here, then make an improvement here, and you just keep rising, keep moving up. Yeah, Rich is saying he's got his backup cams. He got them on Craigslist. A Canon Vixia for $75. Absolutely, absolutely. It's great, and for $75, if it falls off and somebody sits on it, it was $75. And it's always good to have a $75 backup too. I think Rich was saying at one point he was using the foreign-made, no-name mini converters, and you know they lasted not long. And he switched over to the Blackmagic mini converters, and I think he's still using the same converters that he bought last year, and they're still plugging along. So that's the ticket. That's the ticket. Well, guys, I think I've taken more than my allotted time here in the show, but I wanted to show you Rich and wanted to show you Byron's Frames and talk about StreamCon. Don't forget, if you're just joining us and you're interested in StreamCon, you can get $100 off the StreamCon registration. That is $295 reduced to, $395 reduced to $295 if you use the code word Eastern Shore at registration. And I think, and you can spend that $100 on cameras. That's right. Or you can bring that $100 with you and maybe pick up a good deal at StreamCon too. So I'm going to be hanging out here for a little while in the post show. So if you're watching live, hang out. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Twitter, and you're not watching live, or even if you are, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com and join in on the chat. And if you're watching on Facebook, please subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter, Periscope, subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, come on, join the Streaming Idiots group. We won't bite you, I promise. We won't spam you, and we're a pretty fun outfit to hang out with. So that's it. That's it. It was great being around. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week, hopefully from North Carolina on Streaming Idiots. I'm Tom Sinclair. Have a great week. And we are out. Yes, indeedy. There we go. We're looking good. All right. WD-40, is that the chair? Did you hear the chair squeaking? Oh, my goodness. No. Anderson says, when I work near the beach, I use WD-40 and a paintbrush to clean my equipment. Absolutely. In fact, I would say, even if you don't work near the beach, periodically, all of your connections, even your mic connections, will benefit from, see if I can pick this one up here without breaking something. Got too much stuff on my desk. Even your mic cables will benefit from a little shot of WD-40 down in there, and get a toothpick and wipe it up down in there. And as much as you can, that will reduce the little crackles that kind of slip into your system, especially if you're doing something where people are moving around with that. Dave says use the Deox spray. That works for me. The key is to get the debris out of the way, the dust and debris. And in the case of salt spray, which Anderson knows about because he's living in Barbados, dunking it in water is probably not a good idea. Not a good idea. But you definitely, Giles says Electrolube. There you go. All right. And Ray, welcome Ray. Ray says Pro Gold is the best. Pro Gold, is that a spray? I'm not familiar with Pro Gold. Let's see, who have I missed? Corey Sanders is here. Welcome, Corey, and Byron and Dan. Dan is PI Engineering. Joe S. and Peter H. Andres, Jan, Yim Jacobs, Merle Dixon, Prashana, Rich, Kyle, hey Kyle, Dave, Tommy, Henry, TV Todd, Gerald, Christopher, Guest Jerry, I like that. That means we probably have a regular Jerry somewhere else. Anderson, Guest 627. Scott, Scott's going to be one of the speakers at StreamCon. Jesper, Michael, Martin, Giles, Ray, North Carr, Ken, Chris Watts. Uh-oh, my list rearranged itself again. I hate when that happens. Alan Z, Jens, John, Ovanas, Zoran, Michael, Rod, Jerome, the wife. Yes, Martin K is here. Hey, Martin. Thank you for the wonderful Jaws of Death for NAB. That was so much fun. Chuck Gooch is here. Chuck is going to be on the show at some point soon talking about data sources in vMix, and he's got some really cool stuff for you sports streamers. John Duvall, Mike, let's see, is it Amanullah? Jamie, Kenny, Jaybird, D-Wham, that's Gilliam from France, Texas Mike, Amnon from North Carolina, Pedro from Puerto Rico, and looks like my list has rearranged itself again. Oh, Martin from the Container Store. That was the one time I let somebody else do this show. Giles and Martin conspired to put me in a container, although it wasn't really me. It was really funny. You have to go back and watch. All right, let's see. If I missed you, I apologize. The list keeps rearranging itself. All right, John, glad to have you. And Leonard, you are late this time. You are, and we even got started late. We got started late, but we're glad to have you. It's Atal from Canada. There we go. Okay, thank you. Martin says, best show you ever did, Tom. That was that one. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do need to be contained. That's right. Let's see. Pedro says, what's the best PC app for baseball scoreboard that can be integrated with vMix? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's Pedro, there are all sorts of things. It depends on, number one, it depends on your budget. Number two, it depends on how hands-off you want to be with it. There are some, is it Fi, F-A-I, Fi, or Fay from the Maldives? Welcome. I'm not good with pronunciation. Pedro, Sportscast, S-P-O-R-T-Z-C-A-S-T, they can get the data out of the venue, the stadium scorecard controller, and bring that data directly into vMix so that balls, strikes, outs, of course, scores, innings, top of the order, top of the inning, bottom of the inning, all those kinds of things can be automatically brought into vMix and put into a format of your choosing. Michael says the other end of the spectrum is a chalkboard and hold it in front of the camera. Michael, I've done that. Don't laugh. You do what you have to do in those circumstances. And Faye says, first you spell it correct. F-A-I. Got it. Okay. Welcome. Oh, a green chalkboard and chroma key. I hadn't thought about that. That's a good one. It probably wouldn't work, but nevertheless, still, that's cool. And Jim Wofford's here. Welcome. He said we're relieving his stress. Well, that's good to know. Oh, and Atal says that he got the ticker to go different directions for the Pashto language. That's great. You're very welcome. Pedro, the other things, are there some... you can build something yourself using the vMix, what's it called? vMix Title Designer. And you can build your own layout, and you can automate it using shortcuts to change, change the inning, change the score. I've got a video I did, I think it was last year, showing how to use the dash sign on the keyboard to indicate timeouts in football. So you had 3 dashes there, and you take one away and take another away and take another away. You could do the same thing with a dot, and just depending on where you placed it, it could become a ball or a strike or an out. So there are lots of ways to doing it. Udall is here. Welcome. Udall, glad to have you. Udall is coming down to visit me in 2 weeks. Udall is coming from Washington, D.C. And, Pedro says they have a Daktronics All-Sport 5000. There you go. That's what you need. You need to talk to Mike Canal at Sportscast and see what'll hook up with that. That's the high-end solution. That's the hands-off solution. Yeah. The mic I'm using is a shotgun. It's an Audio-Technica AT897. I think it retails for about $500. I bought it on Craigslist, sight unseen, shipped from California for $250. It was pristine. It was amazing. It was really nice to have somebody take such good care of their equipment and then send it on. And Michael Wilson is absolutely right. Yes, you can use picture-in-picture if you've got an extra camera and just crop it to get your scoreboard down there. And that's really effective, especially if you don't have the bucks to get the feed from the scoreboard and you have a time, some sort of time that you need to keep. The crop of the score, and then just, of the time, and put it where you want it. Excuse me. Corey Sanders says, where are you based out of? I am in Alabama, a little town called Fairhope near the Gulf of Mexico. Pedro says, got it. Very good. Rich says, great show. Well, of course it's a great show because you were in it. And thanks for the shout out. Yes. If anybody's in Panama City this weekend, feel free to come up to the tower. There you go. There you go. Panama City Beach, Florida. It's in the Panhandle. And it will be a lot of fun. And bring your camera, bring your phone, bring something to take pictures with because it is really cool. All right, Atal says, check my show today and advise your technical expertise for my betterment of my show. Well, there you go. We'll have to check that. And if you guys want to check it and post a note in this chat, I leave the chat up for a week. So the chat will be here tomorrow. The chat will be here the next day. The chat will be here all the way up until next Wednesday when I'll erase it and start fresh. So if you want to give Atal some, I think Atal, you are a Streaming Idiots group member too. So go ahead and post that in the Streaming Idiots group and ask for some feedback there. That'll be good. A lot more people will see it there. Bye, Dan. Good to see you. Hope your back's feeling better. All right, Leonard is coming to StreamCon from Norway. Are you coming from Norway? Denmark? Sweden? Help me out on that one. But it's going to be great. So Atal says yes, he will do that. Okay, great. Great. Jan says no, shake the tower. You'll get Denmark. Okay, very good. Thank you. You'll get some neat gear falling in your lap. What you'll get rich falling in your lap. Oh my goodness. Just out of curiosity, what is the delay today? Current time is 3:03:30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Oh, I guess you could see it there too. Oh my goodness. So Alan wants to know who here is already registered for StreamCon. Well, Alan is, and Lenark is, and Jim is, and let's see, I'm looking down the list. Gerald is. Seems to me there was a couple of other folks in here that I knew were. I don't remember off the top of my head. All right, 12 seconds is Louisiana, says Dave. Oh, L.A., not Louisiana. 5 seconds in North Texas. It is 1 o'clock in the morning in the Maldives. Welcome. Anderson says there's a free scoreboard app in the forum. Can that be used? I use it for tennis, soccer. I even edited the bulletin scoreboard in vMix to accommodate a longer name as theirs is too small. There you go. Absolutely. John says, why not use PowerPoint on a separate computer and bring it in on the top or bottom to keep score and timeouts? You could do that. You could do that. Michael Wilson said, if I had someone to go with, I would, and a ride. Michael, where are you coming from? Maybe there's somebody close by. GB says, do you have a vMix close to me in Halifax, Canada? I don't know. Is anybody here near Halifax, Canada? Dave said drops to 8 seconds in Louisiana. Giles says 6.7 seconds according to Stats for Nerds here in UK. Leonard is flying out to Atlanta first for StreamCon, then to LA for E3, and then back to South Carolina. Holy cow. All right, Michael is in Natchez, Mississippi. Natchez, is that North Mississippi? Because I'm just next state over, Alabama. But my Mississippi geography is not very good. Let's see what Google says about Natchez, Mississippi. West Mississippi. Yeah, let's see. Oh, right on the border of Louisiana. Yeah. Ooh, that's a pretty long way. Well, all right, Amnon. I will talk with you later because Amnon's going to be my host next week. I'm hoping. Michael, if you can get to Fairhope, Alabama, I'll take you up there with me. Michael Wilson, the numbers people are calling out is the is the delay between the time I say it and you hear it, which is less than 10 seconds is pretty remarkable, I think. I mean, I remember back in the Flash days where you would get 2 seconds, which was amazing. You couldn't sing together, so Giles and I wouldn't be able to sing our duet. But it was pretty close to immediate. And then everybody went to HTML5, including Dacast and YouTube, and the numbers went up to 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Faye says, many thanks for uploading your videos to your channel at YouTube. We're learning many things from you. Thanks, Tom. Yes, thank you. That's why I do it. Michael Wilson says there's less than a second difference between your clock and mine. Mike L says 2 seconds. Wow. That's amazing. Are you guys watching? Here's the question. Are you watching at 720p or less? Because I'm sending 720p, and it may be that if you don't have to have it transcoded, then maybe it'll work. Anybody ever heard of a company called StreamSpot? They are on vMix's list. If you go to Stream and go to the CDN list, Anderson says it's over a minute here. Wow. Are you on satellite, or is your internet coming to Barbados over satellite? That could be why, unless it's. But if it's some sort of transcontinental cable, then probably not. All right, GB says, someone to exchange notes with on some of the challenges we are facing. Well, GB, you can exchange notes with any of us. In fact, come on over to the Facebook group. It's Streaming Idiots, facebook.com/groups/Streaming Idiots. And there are just tons of people there that you can exchange notes with. And yeah, there it is right there. That's the address. And it doesn't matter where we are. These are great folks. We all like to help. Michael says, must be decent if they made it into vMix. Well, everybody has good days and bad days. There's some that made it into vMix that, anyway. All right, Mike says 360p, so it's being transcoded to go from 720 to 360. Alan says 3 seconds in New Jersey. That's amazing. Mike lives in Toronto, but he said he can help along with the World of Live Streaming guys. World of Live Streaming is another show that comes on Mondays at 3 o'clock Eastern on YouTube and at Step Back in Time TV. If somebody wants to post the URL, that'd be great. How many NDI inputs can vMix use as vMix camera inputs? 1,000. That's the theoretical limit. GB, you're welcome. Ray says less than a second in Michigan. I think maybe our times are different. It's funny. You can go to different apps online and find different times they can be off. In fact, my time is supposed to be set on my computer by the internet, but frequently I find that it's different. Jerome says 4 seconds in California. Leonard says the delay is so long that it's 10 o'clock there. That's great. All right, it's interesting because they don't calculate viewer hours and bill on that. Rather, they have a peak number of users viewing at once you can hit. Okay. All right, that's cool. 7.2 in Denmark. Giles, it says stepbackintime.tv. There it is. That's the URL. And you can click there to go to the chat and then click there to go to the live stream. All right, potential to save a ton of money, $2,000 a year for 500 concurrent viewers in high def while archiving, transcoding, etc. Good deal. Good deal. We'll take a look. Ah, man with a watch always knows what time it is. A man with two watches is never sure. Amen to that. Amen to that. And that, you know, I don't think that's just a watch story. I think there are other things with it too. Got to get a little lemonade here. Excuse me just a second. That was good. That was good. So, let's see. What else we got going on here? Oh, I know. Who is from where? All right, I know Udall is in Washington, and I know that Michael Wilson is in Natchez, Mississippi, and I know that Tommy is in Reeltown, Alabama, and Jim Jacobs, excuse me, is in Anniston, Alabama, and Giles is in England, or is it Wales? It's close to Wales. Mike is in Toronto. Leonard is in Denmark. Jan is in Sweden. Dave is in LA. All right, Jim is in Noblesville, Indiana. I love it. Anderson says it's really delayed. Could be satellite. How about that? North Carr is from Norway. Oh, outstanding. Ray is from Michigan. Corey's from Atlanta. Phi is from Maldives. Maldives? Oh, golly. Atal is from Canada. Alan is from New Jersey, near New York City. Jan can throw a rock at Leonard. Giles is in Devon, England. Winkley, Devon, England. Southwest coast. Okay, so not Wales. He tried to show me one time. In fact, I looked him up on Google Earth or something. And Wales is north of him. Okay, never mind. All right, let's see. Jerry is from the Chicago area. Very good. Mike says, come on, Tom. Try saying Mississauga. Mississauga? Yep, Giles actually showed me the building he was in. Martin he is north of Giles and west of me. Okay. Unless me is a place in England. Leonard says, I feel like I should take something really Danish with me for StreamCon for you to taste. Not rotten Swedish fish. Well, thank you. I'm glad I rated not rotten Swedish fish. Mississauga. Okay. Very good. Wales is north of Giles. Oh, Wales is north of Giles and west of me. I gotcha. Gotcha. So, okay, gotcha. So you are like Petersburg or Cambridge or Nottingham, Oxford. Just looking on the map, picking out numbers. Michael Wilson used vMix browser feature the other night to put a custom weather radar on a stream during a weather delay. Very cool. Very cool. I like that. I like that. All right, Leonard's going to bring me bacon. Uh-huh. Leonard says, I've been in the U.S., they have bacon. We used to get a lot of Danish bacon. Huh. And they export a lot of bacon. Canadian bacon? Yeah, we get Canadian bacon on our pizza, but we call it ham. All right, Martin is right in the middle of all of them, Northamptonshire, near Tim Liggins. Oh, okay, I thought Northamptonshire sounded familiar. Did you know Tim before? I mean, probably not, but isn't that interesting that somebody so close to you would be Northamptonshire? I'll have to blow that map up to see. All right. I think they said it was near Birmingham. I see Northampton, but I don't see Northamptonshire. Where is Northamptonshire compared to Birmingham, Martin? Let's see. Gameldansk. Afghan Canadian bologna. I love it. There's a story about one of the bridges in Denmark being designed and calculated by the Brits to secure the Danish export of bacon to England. Interesting. Interesting. Who would have thought? Still trying to find Northamptonshire on the map. See Nottingham. Cooking idiots with Tom Sinclair today, bacon. Oh yeah, that's funny. All right, I live in Corby, which is part of Northampton County. Okay. And I'm assuming Northampton County is where Northampton is? I don't see Corby. Oh, Giles has given me some coordinates. Corby. Oh, it's near the Speedway. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's northwest, northeast of Northampton and due east of Birmingham. Got it. All right, Luke Austin says, how many people from Northampton in here? I'm from Northampton too. Wow. Wonder if it's the same Northampton. Okay, surströmming is canned fermented fish. Smells awful, tastes worse. So that would be the rotten fish. All right. Bye, Jim Jacobs. All right, you could cook your bacon on a heat sink of a PC running Vid Blaster. That should generate enough heat. Michael Wilson, you got me. You got me. Yeah. Giles just got home from live streaming from Birmingham, sorry. Down here they call it Birmingham because we have a Birmingham here, but I believe you address it as Birmingham. Next show is gonna be Dating Idiots with Tom Sinclair. I don't know. I don't think Mrs. Sinclair would appreciate that too much. Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness, goodness. You guys are too funny. You guys are too funny. Okay. Enough of this fun. I got to go back to work. I got to go back to work. But thank you all for tuning in and hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And we'll do it again next week from North Carolina, from the studios of Nissan Communications. And let me hold on a second here. Let's look at something. Let's see. Let's do that. And do. One second. Giles, don't go anywhere. Giles, on May 31st, would you be able to do a show for me? May 31st with Martin and Tommy and Jan and Merle and Alan and Rudy and Jens. Just a thought. I'm going to be in Florida keeping grandchildren that week. Actually leaving the previous Thursday and not coming back until July 1st. Crazy schedule in June. June 1st. You can do that? Okay, we'll get together. I'll do a better job of sending you a preset that actually works. The idea would be that you could do it all out of the Dropbox. And I was able to do a preset on a thumb drive at NAB that worked pretty well. Had I spent more time with it, it would have worked a lot better. But anyway, I didn't know what cameras I was getting. Anyway. It was great hanging out with you guys. I really look forward to it. And I will see you again next week. And in 1, 2, 3 weeks, it's going to be hosted out of England. Giles says, no worry about the preset. Easier for me to use the one I have. All right, as long as I'm happy. And I'm easy. I'm easy. That's great. But we'll get together on that. Man, I wish you could come over. Okay. Calling it quits, guys. Calling it quits. We're gonna move over to the post show, and we will catch you next week.